This is the Vivo V9, the newest smartphone announced by the Chinese phone maker Vivo. So there is no pricing available for this phone yet, but it's certainly not a premium flagship because the chipset inside is only a Snapdragon 626 and only 4 gigs of RAM, which is more than enough. But by 2018 standards, every premium flagship has to come with 6 or even 8 gigs of RAM. But despite this phone being a mid-tier handset, you look at the display, it looks absolutely gorgeous and it spans almost edge to edge. Now, obviously, this is not an original design at all. In fact, I don't think Vivo even bothered to try hiding the fact that this phone it's inspired by the iPhone X, because the wallpaper that comes with the phone out of the box even looks similar to our iOS wallpaper. But having said that, despite this phone being not original at all, it feels really good in the hand, and this is about the perfect size in my opinion. I actually find the iPhone X's 5.8-inch display a little bit small. A lot of times when I'm reading text, it's hard to read. 6.3-inch seems to be a much more proper size. You get a really immersive experience on such a large screen, but the phone is still relatively easy to hold with one hand. My thumb can still reach all the way across, so one-hand typing on this isn't an issue. This is a 6.3-inch display, but this phone is actually smaller than the Samsung Galaxy S9, which has a smaller 6.2-inch display. That's because obviously there's virtually no bezel at the top and the bottom and the sides, and the bottom it's really slim. So unfortunately, this phone has a fingerprint reader on the back. Vivo did not implement that under the screen fingerprint reader that the company recently pioneered. I'm assuming it's because Vivo is saving that for a more expensive premium device. But the fingerprint reader, it's fast and accurate, and there's also face unlock, so it just unlocked in under half a second as soon as it picked up my face. So otherwise, with an all-screen display, Vivo has done away with the traditional Android buttons, although you are able to bring them back if you go into settings, but I like it without it, but I'll show you how it works. So you go into photos really quick. So you swipe up from the middle to go home. Swipe up from the left side to go back, and then if you swipe from the right side, you bring up this shortcut that is exclusive to Vivo phones. So if you want to bring up app overview, you swipe up and you hold. So this gesture is completely copied from the iPhone X, but I gotta say, it's very cool to be able to swipe around to move around Android. It feels a little bit more futuristic than pressing these 3 buttons at the bottom of the screen. So you now get more space. So this notch, some apps are optimized for it. So you actually, when you open up Google Maps, for example, it fills up the notch. But other apps, like Facebook, not really. So you just get this little dead space at the top, and that's noticeable when you're watching Instagram stories too. So you notice the story does not fill up to the notch, so you instead get these kind of digital bezels that fill the top and a little bit at the bottom of the display. And just like the iPhone X, when you watch YouTube videos or any other videos such as Netflix in full screen, the notch will cut into the video. Like so. So this is the video. You either watch a letterbox like this, or you pull it out and then there's a little bite. It looks like someone took a bite out of the video. It's not that big of a deal because this notch, it's a little bit smaller than the iPhone X's notch. So this is the Vivo V9. Again, no pricing has been announced yet, but I'm assuming this will be in the $400 to $500 range. And Vivo is actually not selling this in China or Hong Kong. This phone is marketed towards the Southeast Asia countries such as Thailand and probably India and Vietnam, places like those. So design may not be original, but this is a very impressive looking and feeling device, and every Android in 2018 will probably look something like this other than Samsung, which has its own design language.